Gospel recording artist Keith Wonderboy Johnson has passed away at the age of 50. I'm Tyrone Bowman. This is the Sunday edition of Tyrone Bowman Tonight. Let's get right down to the essence of this story. Various gospel peers confirmed the passing of gospel singer Keith Wonderboy Johnson. We are sad to report that gospel singer Keith Wonderboy Johnson has reportedly passed away at the age of 50. Johnson's label, Black Smoke Music Worldwide, released a statement on Johnson's passing. One of the current kings of gospel quartet music, Keith Wonderboy Johnson, has died suddenly at the age of 50. Johnson was found dead in his Atlanta, Georgia home this morning. An autopsy is scheduled. Johnson was known for big gospel radio hits such as Let Go and Let God Have His Way, Be Right, and Hide Behind the Mountain. I'm in total disbelief, says Black Smoke Music founder Kerry Douglas, who first discovered Johnson when he was performing at the American Quartet Gospel Convention in Birmingham, Alabama in the late 1990s. I saw Keith perform there and I was just taken by how he moved the audience, Douglas recalls. He was an electrifying performer. He was the second act I ever signed. And he was my first signing to become a major artist. We used to sell CDs and the Gospel Truth magazines out of the trucks of our cars. We sold over 100,000 copies back in the day. Johnson was like a brother. I was there when his first child was born. We fussed and fought with each other since we met, but that relationship built this company. A lot of the big artists today stand on Keith's shoulders because of those sacrifices we both made in those early days. Keith began his career with Black Smoke and ended with Black Smoke. Johnson was born as Keith Lamar Johnson on May 17, 1972 in Brooklyn, New York. When he was 5 years old, Johnson's family started calling him Wonderboy for his wondrous musical talents. As a teenager, he enjoyed going to Harlem's Apollo Theater to see great gospel acts such as John P. Key and the Reverend James Cleveland. During his teens, he sang with the Boys Choir of Harlem and with his father's quartet group, the Spiritual Voices. Johnson's first Black Smoke Music Worldwide hit was the 1998's Hide Behind the Mountain, a roosty a cappella track with a steady drum beat. Then came other hits such as the massive Be Right, Send a Revival, I'll Fly Away, and I've Got a Feeling, which showcased the singer's gravely tenor. In 2004, he moved on to RC-owned Verity Records, where he released 2 albums and scored his biggest hit of all, Let Go and Let God. Over the years, Johnson's bouncy rendition of 12 Days of Christmas has become an annual favorite on gospel radio stations. After one-off albums with Melloco Records and Motown Gospel, Johnson scored a production deal with SRT Entertainment, which released his album Keep Pushing, through a distribution deal with Shinachi Records. I am saddened to hear of the passing of Keith Wonderboy Johnson, says Shinachi General Manager Randall Grass. I first heard his song, Let Go and Let God, around 20 years ago and was immediately impressed. Here was an artist injecting the quartet tradition into a contemporary style, and it was great. A few years ago, we had the opportunity to release a new album by him, which was equally satisfying, meddling of traditional and contemporary gospel. His contribution has been great, and he will be missed. This past spring, Johnson returned to Black Smoke Worldwide, where he released the album Restructure, Renew, and Reunion, which featured the radio single It Was You. Johnson has also acted in touring musicals such as PMS and What a Man Wants, What a Woman Needs. He had a bubbly personality, says Glenda Perkins, program director for WXVI in Montgomery, Alabama. He was very personable and very serious about music. He was his own best pitchman, and even though he had people who worked for him, he was always the best promoter for his music. Johnson is survived by his parents, Susan and Philip Johnson, and a sister, Sonia Denise Johnson, and 2 daughters, Brianna Destiny Johnson and Elise Victoria Johnson, or Elsie Victoria Johnson. The news was first reported by Black Gospel Radio and Larry Reed Live on social media. However, not much is known about his passing at press time. The news was further confirmed in subsequent IG or Instagram tributes from singer-songwriter Ted Wynn, singer Titus Showers, and Pastor E. Dewey Smith. Getting his start with his father and uncles as a member of the Spiritual Voices, Johnson launched his solo career in 1998 with the release of his Through the Storm album. He released a total of 14 solo projects, with 11 of those albums landing on the Billboard Gospel Albums chart, with other chartings on the Independent Albums and Heat Seekers charts. Johnson was the winner of 6 Stellar Awards and was nominated for 2 Dove Awards. I'll keep you posted on the developments of this ongoing story. Keith Wonderboy Johnson, rest in peace. I'm Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender, never quit.